Hello, everybody. It is me, your most beloved Marin Margrave Matilda Portier, or you can just call me Mettie. Today we're going back to Vintage Story. I've been thinking about this game a lot. I've been wanting to play it while I've been on break. So let's head right in. It is a block game similar to Minecraft or the currently popular Hytale, but it is a lot more survival based and a lot more focused on minutia sort of tasks, the minutia moments of day-to-day life, especially for people of previous eras. It's a lot of work to get to the Copper Age, and it feels very, very rewarding in general. It's a very, very fun game. I've really come to like this game a lot, but I haven't gotten too far in it. I've only played as far as having a wealth of copper, not too much past that. Alright. Alright, so we have our crop set up, low fertility soil, so we should try and get some higher fertility soil soon. But I could also come across different things that allow me to just sprinkle it on top of the soil to add different types of fertility. Because there's certain nutrients that you need, such as N, P, or K. Alright. I should be good with reeds for now. Food-wise, doesn't seem like we have anything on us. Okay. Okay, we have flax grain goods, fresh for 2 years, 25 days, 44 days, 31 days. Okay. Might as well go out exploring because I do know we need to get more copper. So this is so far what we've explored. Seems like we haven't explored much of this northern area here. Honestly, we haven't explored much at all. Alright, so this is the plan. I'm going to make some food, keep a bowl on me, and then I'm going to go east, and then I'm going to go north. This is where we are right now. Okay. Let's do 3 puffball mushrooms, and then 1 turnip. Or no, let's do 2 puffball mushrooms, and then 2 turnips. Have it be a turnip puffball stew. I really like turnips. And puffballs, too. They're one of my favorite mushrooms to cook with. My sister used to get embarrassed, though, when I would start leaning over to try and harvest mushrooms, though. When you're hanging out in the woods or at a park with somebody, most of the time they don't want you to all of a sudden go into harvesting mode. Which is unfortunate for me, but you know, everybody has their own boundaries, their own limits. Alright, I should put some of this away. Keep the low fertility soil, put the rammed earth there. Stone path, I'm not going to be able to set up for a while. I like that it increases your walk speed. I definitely want to set up pathways, but I think my little hut might end up just being a temporary base for now. Like, I think I should make a proper bigger house over there once I get proper supplies. This will be kind of cool to turn this into storage. Alright. Got my food, my bowl of stew. Alright, plan is east, and then we go north. God. There's something just so beautiful about games where you can just explore and just kind of be alive, I guess. It's kind of an interesting thing, but I mean, that's something that I know a lot of people that got heartbroken when they realized that the fantasy life that they always wanted wasn't even remotely possible. And sometimes it's just fantasy as in, you know, more rooted in reality, but just isn't possible in this day and age. But sometimes it's, you know, Alright, what is this? Sorry, my camera's... Growing spells. I'm gonna mark that down so I can check and see if it's finished later. Like, a lot of people fantasize about, you know, being able to explore, go on a boat and sail away, find themselves in some new place, and try their best to just live a life. There's no sense of borders or limitations. It's just exploration at heart. Oh wait, there's ruins. What the fuck was that? I sure hope that was fucking instrumental. Did you hear that? It was like a horn. Very odd. Alright, I gotta go up and over. I should have all my gear on me. Yeah, I got my shovel. Gonna have to dig this out. Ooh, tool. I'll mark this down. Tool is incredibly useful for making thatched houses. Ooh! Right out the bat. Or, please, copper. What is that? Quartz. Well, I mean, you can use it to make glass, which can make a lot of other things as well, so that's not the worst, but... I wonder if there's more hidden in this place, though. That's one of the things I really like is I love finding videos on archaeologist dig spots going on. It's incredible to realize that there's whole giant cities and towns lost to the sands of time that have just covered it up. And I'm really grateful we live in a day and age where you can just so easily access real, genuine ruins to these places, you know? Especially just digitally, because, God, it's so cool. Can you imagine what that must feel like? See, the thing is, like, whether or not you believe in spirits, I think no matter what, it is pretty cool, though, to be able to treasure and find all these different places where people were. I mean, down the line, I think for me, I'd be happy if people remembered or found us again. There are some cultures that have no living descendants, but hidden away, there are still structures. There are still artifacts. The comb that your mother used to brush your hair, that was some of your fondest memories of life. It's found. Could even be brought to a museum. Brought around, people constantly hypothesizing on who you were, where to come from, what was it made out of, and just the story that goes along with that. If you were to be part of a long lost civilization, and archaeologists found your stuff, is there anything that you own in particular that you think you'd be the happiest that they would find? Obviously, colonizers taking items from people that still exist is fucked up, but I'm talking about, like, you have no living descendants. There are no survivors. Like, is there anything that you own or anything that you would want them to believe about you or find? I think for me, I don't cherish my own stuff being remembered, so I don't think it necessarily is that important. I suppose, knowing me though, probably would be something tea related. Seems like this culture, or at least this person, had an obsession with cheese. Interesting. This goes down quite a bit. I don't have a pickaxe right now. So I can't go deeper, but there might be more going down through the slate. That's my favorite thing about when I go to the UK is I actually really love the look of classic slate shingles. Especially when it's overgrown with moss and lichen. So cool. It's interesting how just one simple thing, such as just how people handle roofs, have so many different so much cultural diversity even within that. Also, just remembered, I did not write down this. Alright, honestly, I could just turn this into a base if I wanted to. There's a lot intact still. Alright. Found some quartz. No copper, but that's fine. Oftentimes in life, you can be given gifts. Oh, quartz! Sounds like a rooster. Oftentimes in life, you can be given stuff. And it's important just to allow yourself to just, you know, receive. Getting upset about, well, I wanted copper! How am I supposed to advance to the next era? There's a lot of quartz. It'd be cute. I would love if they had a feature where you can, like, have, like, hovering words over different areas, so it's, like, quartz glade. You know? Like what you see in maps, so you can actually have descriptions for each area. Damn, look at all these quartz bits. Oh my god, even here! Alright, I'm not gonna take all of them. Because it means that there's probably a vein. A large vein or cap. Copper! Did not expect to find it so fast. I've been really lucky. God, that's incredible. Alright. What else is here? Let's toss the dwarf fuse and the heather. Alright. Get the dwarf again. Oh. So there's copper. Yep. Right here. Once I get enough to... Alright, we have 9. We need 20 to make a pickaxe. I'm gonna keep looking around to see if we can find any copper or other materials, but... God, I really like this song. I kinda needed that. It's so easy to have your head get all tangled up. Oh, Briars! Greetings, totally normal human being who's surely not an eldritch entity. How's the game treating you? It's going good! I've actually been really lucky. Found a shit ton of quartz, found a shit ton of copper. Well, not a shit ton of copper, but I found overground copper. We're still before the copper age, so I'm working on trying to just get enough above ground copper to then make my first pickaxe. So, I'm very much looking forward to it. But I hope you've been doing well. Just enjoying. Despite how easy it is to get absolutely brutalized in this game and lose shit ton of progress if you aren't careful, it is really soothing. It has a lot more ambience to it though that I really like. Like when you come across little bugs or the harsh winds going by and the wind distortion. I like it. Some of my favorite times in life was when I was away from civilization and I could just hang out with the trees and the wind, the leaves and the stones. What a cool area. I love the detail of your character putting up their arm to block the wind. God, that's so cool. Alright, we're looking for copper. So far, because this is mostly slate gravel, at the very least I can pick up gravel stones. It feels even more immersive if you're running Terra Pretty Mod for the smoother world terrain generation. Ooh, I'll have to check that out at some point. I know that there's actually quite a bit of mods out there for this game, but I usually try and play... Well, I know this game has plot, and currently can get up to the Steel era on top of completing some other things, so playing the game vanilla first, and then adding things in later is always fun. But I'll have to check that out. I'll write down that name, and then I will... Down the line, I'll definitely look into it. That's one of the fun things about... That's a shit ton of copper! Woo! Looks like we're making our first pickaxe pretty early on. Damn. Alright. Yoink, 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 yoink. Nice. Alright, I should head back then. Man, I was right about going north. It was almost directly north of my house. Jackpot? Literally. How much do I have right now? I think I have a few... 33? Yep, that is definitely enough for a pickaxe. Alright, let's head back. I'll eat my little ceramic bowl of vegetable stew. Because of the environment we're in, there's not really many... There hasn't been much food. I've come across growing things, like we came across that growing spelt, but not too many forageables. Oh, a bear. Well, that's good to know. Looks like I saw a mushroom on the tree by the bear too. But it could also be resin, so I'll have to check into this area later on when I need to get resin. I don't know if it's actually feasible for that small of a waterfall to come out of that small of a rock. Like, where is the water coming from? In larger mountains, it is feasible. It does look pretty, though. Oh, two right next to each other? Well, good thing this isn't by my base. I'll check out the rest of the world later. That's something that I'm very excited about, is when I was playing this off stream, I never really got far enough to get into any of the actual, like, quests and, like, lore. So I'm looking really, really forward to when I'm able to get around to that. But I love lore. So I am probably going to spend a shit ton of time working on houses and enjoying just all the crafting that exists when I finally develop saws, but that'll be a little bit later. First, make a pickaxe, and then I'll go to the two places where I found copper. Oh, that's a wolf. Hasn't spotted me yet. I spotted the cub before I spotted the mom. Alright, I'll take the long way around. Alright. Looks like it's to the west. So let's stick a little bit more to the east. Let's go through this way. We can go down to the ruins, and then we can head... Ooh! Blueberries. Oh, yes. Oh, fuck. Do I need all 43 low fertility soil? No. Sometimes I just like to get quiet in this game and just listen to the slight little noises. It also is helpful too, because then you can pick up on whether something is stalking you and trying to kill you, or if there's a monster nearby. And as it's getting oh, puffballs! All right, fuck. I'll come back here tomorrow. Puffball. Nice. Oh, moth. That's a butterfly. That's a butterfly. See, I think every game needs little bugs. I think that's so cute. Like, it's amazing how immersive it feels just seeing little bugs. But insects are such a huge part of biodiversity, and so it just makes sense. What crop are you? Looks like carrots, maybe? Yep. Growing carrots, 6 out of 7. Alright, I'll let them grow instead of just taking their seeds. Carrot. Nice! Damn, we have a wealth of stuff around us. I'm glad that it's not beating my ass as much as I thought it would. One of the first times I played this game, I got spawned on a tiny island that was next to another small island, and I was trying to just make it work. But I eventually was like, well, I'll swim it just and head east, and I'll see if I can come across anything that way. I came across nothing. I eventually ran out of trees, and planting them, it takes forever for them to grow back. I mean, it was, oh god. Yeah, I was just damned from the get-go. In some runs, you just don't get things close to you. Alright. We have charcoal. There's the big axe mold. There's the water can. Okay. Come here. Take out the cooking pot. Place down the cooking pot. Then, I should have a crucible out here. Yep, yoink. Whop. Alright. I'll put... I didn't get anything edible, but I did get quartz chunks. I need more storage. That's convenient. Right, where the fuck did I put my... There. Charcoal. And then... Alright, nice. Oh, I don't have tongs. Fuck, how do you... Fuck. H. Tong. Need rope? I need wild vine? Oh, fuck. Actually, no. Might have taken my... Fuck. I forgot that we need that shit. No, I'm not going out there. We don't have the gear, we don't have any armor. We're going to sleep, and then tomorrow we're looking for vines. We need 3 vines to make rope, and then we can make wooden tongs. Okay. Damn. So close to no cigar. Okay, so there's that wolf and a cub to the east that will probably still be there. There aren't many trees to the west of us. I mean, it's limited. There might still be some. Now, far to the east over here would be most likely, but there's a shit ton of boars in that area. And it'd be one thing if it was one boar, but taking on several animals that want you dead is never a good idea. Unless you have a pack yourself to back you up. But not in this case. Not this time. Looks like we're a little low in food, but that's fine. I still need to properly dig out these ruins. But I'll do that another time. The shovel I currently have on me is almost broken. Ooh, puffballs. Nice. It seems like I'm going to be mostly surviving out off of puffballs for the next while. You can make porridges using the grains, but I try to not use them because, well, I mean, they don't rot for 2 years, even if they're put in just standard clay vessels, so, I mean, I'm going to need that in winter more than anything. Well, things that rot in 20, 30, 40 days? Yeah, might as well use them now. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, I gotta section this off. Because one of these days, I am just going to walk straight into that fucking hole. Alright. Alright, that should be distinct enough to let me know. Ooh, black currants. Oh, I didn't put shit away. Oh. Well, alright. It's fine, it's fine. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine that I have way too much on me that I shouldn't lose. Oh, and I have so much that I don't even need at all. God. You know what? This is fine. This is great. Just don't die, and don't come across too much that you want to take back with you. I'm excited for when I'm able to advance my inventory more. There'll be a little bit. This tree's beautiful. Crimson maple leaves. I love maples. That's one thing that I really hope that they do add into the game down the line is maple tapping. I think being able to tap trees is, I mean, it's been historically done for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Like, what? I'm not used to prey animals running towards me. But whatever. We knew it was cute. Must have been a little rabbit. Nice wealth of tool here. Write this down. I like that Vintage Story has a bit of a gap moe for it. Like, it's genuinely just a very relaxing, it's very nice if you just want to take a moment and just do, like, a lot of things slowly and just kind of relax. Take a deep breath. Take a moment. Enjoy the little things. But then also it has eldritch monstrosities and horrors and evil. And the condemned. They've transgressed too far. And I think that's good. Because if you don't have a strong opposite, then it's that way. If you don't have a strong opposite emotion, a strong opposition to those sort of feelings, you don't treasure it as much. Little peaceful moments all of a sudden become priceless. They become so much more. It's interesting how it works that way. Why are there no vines? I know what vines look like. Like, that's just moss. And that's a bear. Okay. God damn it. Right, we have spelled here. I mean, it's far enough away from my place I could cut it up, but I don't have the room for the seeds. Really? No vines. I'll have to head east. It's really funny how just knowing that we're currently in woods full of pine and maple, I kind of have this phantom smell of pine trees and maples. That's something that I just find so incredibly beautiful is every single woods has a different smell to it. And it all goes into so many different factors. all the different foliage, all the different trees, what time it is, what season it is, what flowers, what type of soil. Also, the acidity of the soil, you know, all these really specific things. My favorite thing in the world is white pine trees. Nothing else I love more. They also make a pretty incredible tea. Oh, vines! No shot! I'm in the mountain and... Oh, wait. I hallucinated that. Unless? No, I did. God dang it. Well, there's more trees this way. Maybe they can show more spots for areas. I mean, obviously, there's... It seems like vines would be more common, of course, in places where there's more trees. Oh! Copper. Oh my god. I wasn't even intentionally looking for copper this time. Oh my god. Okay. Well, shit, I'm not gonna say no to more fucking copper. Alright, let's move flint down. Yoink. God, it's beautiful. I love waterfalls. Oh, wait, I did mark down the copper. More copper? What the hell? So call this Copper Mountain. Holy shit. I was expecting it would take longer for me to find this much. But it probably won't be long at all for me to make every single copper instrument that I need. Huh, I didn't expect to be so lucky. Kind of love that edge right there. Kind of would love to have my own little house tucked in. But I've always wanted to live on a mountain. Or at least on, like, cliffs. However, that is a nightmare due to, well, the edge of a cliff or mountain is always going to recede. It's just how weather and time and physics work. So that's something too, is like a lot of people want beachfront property or like waterfront property in general, but it's rarely ever a good idea because water is naturally destructive and will just naturally take away more and more of your coast and then get eventually up to your house and then fuck up the foundation really bad. Alright, we didn't find any fucking vines. Wait. Let me actually take a moment. I don't remember vines being this hard to find. Maybe they don't grow on pines? Ruins! This is a cute place to have a little house. Somebody had the right idea. Alright, I'm curious. And hey, maybe, just maybe, there might be a cracked vessel with rope. So, I mean, might as well, right? Alright, let's snap out a new shovel. Alright, nap out a new shovel. Place that down. We have a new shovel. And then I can eat my 2 blueberries. The nice thing about getting all the copper we did is, one, now we know where several copper deposits are, which is going to lead to having a way more copper. But just with the little copper bits we have, we could make a second pickaxe if we wanted, just in case we lose the first one. Obviously, I could also use it to make other things, but... I mean... ultimately, why not play it safe? When you are at risk of losing something that took you a long time to get, I mean... why not have backups? Alright, I won't be able to dig down. Requires a pickaxe from here on. Well, check out the edges of this, though. I know that kind of looks like the top of a defensive fort, just based on how some of these jut out. But this, going up higher, makes it seem like this might have been a window. So probably not actually the case. What the fuck? Oh, a raccoon! Oh, it's sitting! Hi, buddy! Cute. Oh, I always found it funny that one guy, I do believe he's in Canada, who just like feeds. Don't do this. I don't support him doing this, but I do think it's really funny that there's this one guy who's been like feeding these raccoons like hot dogs for years out in Canada, and now there's like 60 different raccoons that just swarm his deck. And just the way he handles it is just very... It's always interesting when you get to glimpse into another person's life. He's been doing this for years. And seeing all these little things. It's interesting. The best way to understand yourself is to try and understand others. There's a lot of sayings like that. God, the lightning off in the distance, that's fucking cool. Alright. Hi, butterfly. Oh, you're so cute. I love butterflies. Look at these little bugs hopping about. Oh, into the water. Okay. Okay, we need 3. Also, I should probably keep that stoked. Because monsters will spawn in this house, we've seen that before. Okay. Put the puffballs away. Actually, let's grab 2 of those. And then put all my copper in here. Two turnips. Oh, forgot about the crucible. Alright. Maybe I should cut down those cattails on the other side of the pond just to make some more storage. Alright, we just need 1. I should make a sifter too. Nice. Let's grab the rest of this wood. And let's slide it up. I'll give you 5, just keep it to yourself. Nice. Alright, clear quartz. Okay, next thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to cut down the rest of those cattails. Makes another box. Well, it needs, I think, like either 32 or 24. I think 24 to make. No. Because I do believe you need 3 times 8. Yeah, no, that's 24. I do think it's cool that building things in this game require you sometimes to have several stacks of an item in your building square. I think it's pretty cool. Flax is still 6 out of 9. I like this giant, this blocky cloud. I wonder if it's a storm head. I wonder if there's differences in the cloud size. I always think it's really cool when you can actually see a storm front coming and seeing that just the dark and big coloration of it. It's cool. I've always wanted to get better at painting clouds. I used to watch this one YouTube artist who does paintings called Mural Joe. Actually has some pretty good like explanations of how to like paint waves and all sorts of specific things. But I've never really... I'm much more of a black and white with just line work type of person. Much prefer to crosshatch rather than to go into all those details you need to with painting. Alright, got one chest. I think that should be good for now. Give it a quick look though, because we're still looking for vines, but all these trees are young. These are all young growths. Usually when I see a bunch of young trees in an area, especially if it's an area like that isn't necessarily touched by man that much, like you would say obviously in this world because most people are dead, I would assume that maybe there was a fire. Because fire is really common for a ton of different forest types, and it is a way to bring nutrients back to the earth and make the next wave of trees stronger. So a lot of seeds are actually made to be buried in the ash of their mothers, which I think is really cool. Also kind of metal as fuck, I'm not gonna lie. Little by little, we're getting somewhere. Bony soil we can actually sift. Do I have a pan? Wooden pan? We just need a knife and a log. Okay. Well, luckily there's just a log that I accidentally placed here that I can just chop down. Yoink. Actually, let me grab that bony soil. Actually, I should grab this slate. I technically don't need a pan. It also consumes a lot of, but I am curious. I've heard that bony soil can potentially have artifacts from the old world in it. So I want to see. Also, bones can be useful. You can grind them up to make fertilizer later. I feel bad for desecrating where these people died, but maybe down the line I'll make a little shrine of thanks to all of them. That would be nice. Also, apologies if you can hear me drinking my tea. I'm a little close to the mic right now because I am indeed a little sick. so I don't want to overexert me speaking. One of the reasons why I'm in... Is that fucking battle music? What are you doing up there, dude? That is so fucking scary. Just the ominous... Okay. Well, if you want to hang up there, I guess be my guest. Kind of reminds me of that scene from Naruto where Sasuke's like standing above Naruto and Sakura, who are like standing in the pit. And he's just aura farming. Oh my god. What a diva. Man, I'm surprised that didn't really take any of my health. I suppose it's because I gave myself like an actual meal, so it doesn't go down as fast. Alright, I just got flint arrowheads, but I don't think I can use them. I think only the hunter can make crude arrows. But I might be wrong. Did you just kill yourself? Did we just watch a fucking suicide of you? Oh my god. I didn't expect him to fucking jump. Oh my god. Well, it's always something in this game. Okay. Alright, another day with no... no vines. No vines at all. Okay. I don't want to have all my flint on me. I also don't want all these sticks on me in case I lose them. So let's have 5 sticks and 3 flint. Which means we can make 3 tools, potentially 5. God, I have way too much dirt. I could always use it to make paths, though. Which I do believe using them to make stone paths, just again, eliminates space. Like, I think it doesn't... Huh? No, wait, that should be how you make it, right? Oh, no, you just layer it on top. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily save space besides the stones you use. Okay. Oh, yes, it does. No, it doesn't. Alright. There you go. Nice. Alright, we have a bit more inventory room. We are still running out of space. Need to get more cattails. I also should get some firewood as well when I get the chance. What time is it? It's 5:13? Okay. Well, let's head... Hugging the Mountains is going to be where we're going to find more trees. And there are puffballs over here that I want to grab. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. We just need 3 vines. Is that so much to ask? Which is Story God said, fuck you. Alright, yeah, let's head over there. Let's just take a look at some of these trees. I think they have to be a certain level of height, and then I think they also need to be a certain level, or maybe even certain types of trees. I'd be surprised if they only appear in like, oh, you need a high amount of rainfall. Goat. I need to domesticate goats. I need to domesticate goats. That's one thing that I absolutely have not really done or looked into is domesticating animals. I know there's certain traps and different ways to capture them, but one day. I do believe you can use goats for dairy in this game too. That's a baby boar. All right, spear out. Have you guys ever seen those boar hunting spears? They're really fascinating because you're supposed to just like brace it against a tree, and then when the boar comes charging at you, it'll naturally just spear itself. And I think that's just a fascinating way of handling a beast. An animal. A hunt. Isn't that so interesting? I was gonna look for vines, but now I'm distracted. Oh, I haven't dug these up at all. Well, don't mind if I do. Alright, let's yoink these. There's gotta be something. This is far too much jutting out. There's gotta be like a cellar. There's gotta be like some hidden stuff. Like, there's no way, right? There's definitely gonna be a way. Usually when I game, I have really bad luck. Not the worst, but notably not the greatest. So it's very interesting that so far I've actually been quite lucky with getting copper nearby and found clay pretty fast. Peat is literally just across the pond from me. But I'm always expecting it. I'm always expecting to get nothing. Right? I'm always expecting that bad luck to sneak up on me and bite me in the back. But it's fine. I'm intrigued by it having such a strong flooring right here. Makes me wonder what's under it. Now let's go down through this way, and then I want to dig underneath this floor and see if there's any... Ooh. Yes! Woo! Alright, I ran out of shovel. I guessed right. Alright. Let's see if they have anything good. We interrupt this program with the napping of Flint. The cellar will be explored shortly in this classic thriller tale, featuring Matilda Portier. Damn. Well, maybe I'm getting better at recognizing ruins that have this. Well, if I can find a way in. I think I can break this, though, without needing a pickaxe. Dry stone. Chert dry stone. Dry stone? Is there a chert wet stone? Requires... Oh. So dry stone I can break with my hands. No, not all of it, though. Stony rubble. What? What is this? I was expecting like a very straightforward cellar because usually they'll have like, oh, this is a broken chest, this is a broken this and that, and I don't... Whatever this is, I don't understand what it is. Chert rock. Huh. So we found a cellar like I wanted, but there's nothing in it. It's just a bunch of strangely placed stone. Huh. Huh. Oh, the sun's setting. That's great. I won't be able to see vines. Unless... Actually, I have one berry in my... Nice. Alright, so we have one vine. We need two more. We need two more. We need two more. So what do you mean wild vine? Are there vines you can cultivate? Well, it'd be great if there was grapevines. If you... I yelled so loud that even my guitar resonated. Oh my fucking god! Oh my fucking god, that scared the shit out of me! I don't know if pink bottoms are edible. Usually I can identify mushrooms because I like to get mushrooms myself. Did I just overlook the vines? Did I just need to actually look closer at the trees to find the vines I needed? Because why am I finding them all over the place now? Come on. Come on, just one more vine. Come on. Give your old pal Mettie just a little vine. God, that's creepy. That's like fucking creepy ass thing to say. Gross, 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 gross. Creepy old man voice pack. Worst possible idea ever. You know, maybe. I was gonna say maybe if I went over there I could just quickly get some, but I don't think that's a good idea. So I found one right there. Nice. Seeing just enemies. I don't know why that lightning literally was so distracting that I just stopped talking. Don't know what that was about. I want to check out this. There's still some other parts of this that I actually need to properly dig out like that. What is glowing over there? What? Probably a trader? It has to be a trader. Are those fireflies? Oh my god. That's so cool. Alright. I'm losing the plot. Let's eat some berries. There's more. I've never seen fireflies in this game. That's so cool. Another one. I saw this on my map when I was running away from the boars at the very beginning. But now I'm like, Alright, I need to explore this one as well. This one's actually closer to my base. I also want to explore over there. Looks bigger than just a trader, but I might just be seeing a larger trader. Because I know that there's not just, like, trader caravans. There's also, like, they can have their own, like, little forts and stuff, so. That bee boar is freaking me out, dude. I don't want to deal with your ma, dude. No, not like this, not like this. Fuck, dude. My little shitty house. Okay. It's serious time now. We got our coil of rope. We have our sticks. Actually, interestingly enough, the perfect amount of sticks. Meat on fertility soil! Oh wait, I need 2 more. I didn't even realize I picked up medium fertility soil. That's exactly what we need. Alright, let's use church stones, swap that out. Let's use slate stones. Alright, cool, cool, cool. Cool, 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 cool. Okay. That's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. Coil of rope, we just need to find where I have my extra sticks. Are there 2 areas that have flax rope? I need to organize this. Okay. 1 coil of rope. And we need 6 sticks. 6 sticks. 6 sticks. Nice. Alright. Now, I can finally do what I wanted to do. Alright. We need to switch to charcoal. Because firewood cannot burn at temperatures high enough to melt copper. And then my copper. But we only need to put 20 in because we don't have enough to make any. We don't have any other mold on hand to pour it into besides our anvil. Oh, we have ingots actually. I mean, no. It'll take longer based on how much copper there is. So let's stay humble. Let's not get greedy. Let's keep this contained. What do I have firewood in there? Alright, I could sift out that bony soil. Kinda wanna do that while I wait for this. But it won't just be a moment. Come on, baby. Nice. Take charcoal out. Cool. So I need to cook, actually. Fuck. When you sleep, it will naturally take a shit ton of your satiety. Especially when you are damaged. I think these are edible. No, it says minus 10 HP. Alright, those are not edible. Those are fucking poisonous. That's great. My turnip and puffball stew. Okay. That's cooking. That's gonna take a while. Of what I'm aware of, we haven't had any monster spawns nearby. I think up there is technically considered a cave, and also potentially on top of my house is technically considered a slight cave, so you might get a bit more monster spawns that way, but it's fine. Oh, it's fine. I should pour myself some more tea. I'm currently using a... What brand is this? Traditional Medicinals. That's the brand, and it's Slippery Elm tea, but it's like greater name is throat coat, which I don't really like the name of. That's one of the reasons I just say that I'm drinking Slippery Elm tea, because that's all that's in it. And Slippery Elm is a very naturally sweet tea. And in general, it's just really sweet. Slippery Elm is a tree, and its bark, it has medicinal qualities. It's been used for thousands of years. I actually even have Slippery Elm cough drops. I don't know why I'm pausing so much to think, but I think it's just because I'm tired. I just wanted to take it easy, but I also wanted to play the game, and I don't know. God, that's so cool. Look at all these stars. I love the stars. I love how much us humans love to just look at the skies. I say as if I can barely qualify as a human. But I could technically keep my inventory up and keep doing this so I could see what I actually get out of this all. I like that I've been getting flex fibers though. Rough emerald? Candle? Copper arrowheads? Oh my. Damn, it is actually really worth it to sift through that. That's crazy. Actually, I wanna place this. That way I can... Fuck. That way I can sift those later. Isn't the prettiest thing to look at, but hey. If it works, right? Another one? You're telling me another one of these damn things died by falling off that cliff? Well, it's not, having a lot of entities dying by falling off a cliff and hitting my roof isn't, how I expected this to go, but, I guess it could be worse. Alright, let's eat before I start starving. Oh, that barely did anything. Fuck, we're always running out of storage space. Okay. I think, oh, wait. With candles, you can make lanterns, right? Yeah, I just need I can make this with a copper plate, I do believe. Oh no, you need bronze. Maybe? Wait. Blocks and items, lantern. Copper lantern. Yes! Okay, we're almost there then. Alright, this is still hot. I could toss it into the water to cool it down, but no, I'll just wait for it to cool. Knowing when to be patient is always a virtue. What can I do with emerald? Potential low? Can't do shit with it. Huh. Alright, this one had the flint arrowheads. Alright, bones. Put away. And then put in arrowheads. Put away. Flax fibers, put away. Copper arrowheads, put away. Nice. And I have enough quartz. So, for when I need it. So all I need then is just a bronze sheet, and I'm good. It's not bad. Okay, spider webs I know can be used with anything, so I should probably just toss that. I need more storage. I could always grab some more clay and make another vessel. And that's not really much of a problem. Alright. Ran out of clay. There's a few places we can get it from, if I remember correctly. There's clay just to the southwest, though, so let's head to that one. Okay. 2.9 years. Okay. Let's do 2 puffballs. 1 and 2 turnips. I was thinking about making it different. I really was, and then you know, I caved. It's the easiest. It just makes sense. Well, now it's day, so let's head south, get clay. I don't think there's any forageables on the way, but we'll get there and we'll do it. Sleepy days. It's very interesting that one spot just spawns monsters a lot. I wonder if there actually is a cave entrance up there. I don't know if I've actually ever been on that ledge where they keep jumping off from. Oh yeah, we need more storage. Is that ore in that rock over there? Kinda looks like copper. I'll have to go over and check it out in a moment. Trying to avoid... There's a ledge, something here? Yeah. We've currently had 2 different monsters jump off of the ledge right behind my house and then die as soon as they hit my roof. So we've unfortunately had to find the corpses of two monsters that have committed suicide on my roof, which is not the greatest thing. It's genuinely a copper deposit right here. What the hell? Why have I been so lucky getting copper? All right. Also, welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. It's good to see you, Cotton. Only a little cursed? Yeah. Their souls are damned now. I mean, I think out of everybody who would have these sort of monsters die... Is it a wolf? Oh, it's a monster. It looks like a surface drifter. It's a deer. Oh! There's a crawler. Don't throw rocks at me, bitch! I mean, they were literal monsters. Supposedly, the previous civilization, which is where these stemmed from, are being punished by transgressing too far in their developments. Like, for some reason, they were doing something that, like, they end up just being turned into monsters from. And that is just very interesting to me. Wait, you can... Why is it not forbidden knowledge? Yeah. God only knows what they did. Me? I don't know. I've seen people exploring when you can like go back in time and like go like explore a lot of the ruins and then shift into different dimensions. But I haven't personally gotten that far at all. And it's just a little guy trying to survive. Exactly. I'm just a little guy trying to survive. This cursed and damned people that just keep showing up and trying to kill me. That kind of sucks, and I am curious, and I do want the lore, but also I just want to live. Surviving is hard enough. Alright, there's clay over there. I need more cattails to make some more reed chests. Tornip, 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 tornip. Alright, there's clay here. I'll grab some more cattails, and then I'll get some clay. I need 24 cattails. Got 8. Just needed to get 16 more. It's amazing how just doing little things like just cutting cattails and then cutting cattails and then cutting cattails, there's something very soothing about it. I know I've always been the type of person to like these little sort of menial tasks, but it is kind of fun to actually have a game where it is just like can't really rush anything. Ooh, carrots. I won't pick up those other ones until they're fully ready. There's a lot of carrots in this area. We got a lot of carrots and copper. I really like carrots. They are a very versatile vegetable. And I mean, if you're gonna have a stew, like potatoes and carrots is just, at the very least, what you gotta have. An onion. Onion. I think carrots could be better. What do you mean? They're just, if you want them crunchy, then you eat them crunchy. If you want them softer, then you cook them a bit longer. And then I like that they have, like, they're sweet, but they aren't too overpowering. I like carrots. Alright, I should eat these black currants. When did I have that clay? I thought that was an empty splot. Carrots are like a non-factor. What do you mean? That's a problem with your taste buds, dude. Cotton, you could not be more wrong. What is carrot flavor? It's so, like, there's so many, like, huh? It's very, like, it's a very, like, strong and distinct flavor. I can't even imagine saying that carrot, what is carrot's flavor? That's so strange. Maybe you do just have a duller sense of taste. Not that there's anything wrong with that. A decent amount of people do. Wait, what is your most flavorful vegetable? What is your tell me your fave vegetables. I'm curious. Because like carrots are like something that even like kids often enjoy because like they're at least like sweet. And I'm like, favorite vegetable? Yeah, what's your favorite vegetable? It's gotta be corn? Okay. What's your second favorite vegetable? Wait, is corn a vegetable? Because... Alright, it has several different classifications based on how you use it. Okay. It can be several things. It can because vegetable like it's technically a fruit and a grain. It's a grain. But it's a vegetable as well. But vegetable is not a scientific concept, though. Okay. It's an agricultural and culinary term? Okay. It depends. Corn is a fruit. The kernels. Okay. Yeah, so it's both a fruit and a vegetable and a grain. Because they're technically seeds. Is corn a berry? Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. It's everything. Oh, when I take these onions. I've never had to think about whether that corn was a vegetable. I've never thought about this before. And now I'm fascinated. Okay, what is your favorite vegetable that's actually, like, undisputably just a vegetable? I'm curious. I like vegetables. Oh, I came to get clay and then I fucking didn't get any. Luckily, there's some right here. I literally, like, picked up a ton of crops and proceeded not to get it all. Like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this today. Does not proceed to do that. You know how they're like 30% fruit on your plate, 30% vegetable, etc., and then my plate is just a bunch of corn? Oh my god. Corn has barely any nutritional value. Cotton, you can't do that. Cotton. Oriental sweet potatoes? Hell yeah. Okay, so you're just an extreme sweet tooth. Do you like a vegetable that isn't sweet? Well, now I understand why you say that carrots don't really have any flavor, because you like things that are genuinely just, like, super sweet and have, like, naturally occurring sugars in excess. Like, it's, like, your opinions on vegetables are going to just be wrong if it's just, I want something that's super, super sweet. I fear there is a pattern. My god. Well, at the very least, when it comes down to sweet potatoes, they have a ton of nutritional value. Like, it's something that if you do struggle with vegetables, and that's fine if you do, like, I do recommend eating a lot of sweet potatoes because it's just really, really good for you. What's your favorite vegetable? Bok choy. Cabbage. I like a ton of different cabbages. I also love snow peas. What else? I like carrots. I like cooking with celery. I like onions. I like white onions and sweet onions, and what else? I love cauliflower. So these are just vegetables. What do you mean? Cotton, you need to actually eat vegetables. Cauliflower? Yeah, it's yummy. Having riced cauliflower where you dice it really small and then you put it into chicken, like, stews and, like, chicken broth, it's so yummy. It's genuinely just really, really yummy. And it's good for you, too. I love cauliflower. When I was younger, I didn't like vegetables as much, but that's just normal for when you're young. But now it's like my body eats vegetables, or if I go a long time without eating vegetables, my body feels it. Like, I genuinely just, I really, really try hard to make sure I have vegetables with every meal if I can. But, like, that's what you're supposed to. Oh my gosh, Cotton. When I grow up, I'll like less sweet vegetables more. I'm 24. I mean, 24, you're still young. There's this one VTuber I watch who he just turned 30 last year, and he just ate his first, like, fruits because he never liked fruits. And that's... He doesn't really care for vegetables either, but it's, like, even more, like... Yeah. And that's the thing, too, is, like, I don't necessarily... I'm not like, oh my god, I can't... Like, I'm not going to ever, like, dislike somebody and be like, I can't believe they dislike eating this or that, because it is genuinely, like, based on... Like, a lot of times, you know, there is indeed something called ARFID, where food, taste, and textures are going to be a lot more painful and suck a lot more because of often neurodivergency. Like, ARFID is part of being neurodivergent. Like, there are, like, there's that one autistic girl who would only eat Chef Boyardee. So it's just really interesting. So, I mean, everybody has their own reasons. There's a lot of food or a lot of recipes and ways of cooking that I don't necessarily care for, and a lot of people think that my eating habits are strange. And so I just think it's really interesting hearing what people like and dislike. So if you don't like eating, like, of course, your nutrition matters to me because it'll keep you healthy. And especially if you are somebody who has intention of having a healthy body, it is important to take care of yourself or have a functioning body that isn't full of pain. So having a well-balanced diet is very important, but I mean, I'm not gonna force people to actually eat vegetables. I wonder if it's enough dry grass. Any more sticks? Yeah, but I thought it was really interesting finding out that that guy had barely eaten. He tried like two fruits, and then never ate any other fruits and just disliked it a lot. Some foods I've convinced myself I disliked because I didn't like it as a kid and I've never touched it ever again, like yogurt. Haven't eaten it since childhood. I don't know how I'd react to it now. Interesting. I think it's interesting, especially like as you grow up, you usually do just end up like liking food more that you didn't expect to like. And I think that's really interesting. Because, like, for me, there's a lot of foods that I didn't like, and a lot of foods that I dislike now that I used to eat. I'm also allergic to a lot of what I used to eat, but it's just interesting, especially, like, because I used to dislike eating vegetables, and... Well, one of the problems I had growing up was my father was the chef of the house. He's the one who did the cooking, and I could never find myself liking what he made. It was never how I like to make it. Like, I love fish. I love seafood. And he doesn't like those tastes at all. And he's a very simple sort of... Like, he barely uses any spices at all or herbs. And if he does, it's usually things that I dislike. Well, for me, like, I like... One of my favorite, like, herbs is, like, rosemary. Then we can't take a request every once in a while. That's the thing is, my father always had a very delicate ego. And he would always be convinced that I was trying to be the, in quote, alpha of the house. And claimed that it was, like, a psychological phenomenon. Yeah, so... Which wasn't the case, I just didn't... So any sort of negative comment I had on what he did, he would just take extreme offense to it and believe that he was just a victim of me having an ego, when in fact I just didn't like what he cooked, and even when I would try to be kind about it, it just... Yeah. It's very difficult. Me when a 15-year-old is trying to out me. See, that's the thing is, he started saying that when I was 9. Because I just took care of my family more than he did also didn't help. So fun, so great. Like, I hate how much that doesn't even make any sense. Yeah. So, like, it's something that, like, something too is, like, even back then, though, my father would just, like, wouldn't allow me to finish any statement, and he would just walk away from me. He never really understood how to talk to other people, and despite being an anthropologist, he just never understood it, and only... So, I don't know. A very, very strange, person. So, yeah. A lot of the food that I disliked growing up was just because if you actually season or treat it differently, it's better. What an interesting creature. Mm-hmm. Me when a 9-year-old is trying to offer me hello. Yeah. I don't... Some people, don't realize how insane they are, and then have an ego to the point that you can't say anything about it. It's one of the things that I have very little patience for now, is people who can't take who refuse to listen to others. Because it's not even about criticism, because it wasn't like I wasn't even saying things that are necessarily harmful. I wasn't like, if this food sucks or anything. I was like, sorry, I just don't wanna... I just don't wanna eat that. And... I don't know. It's just... Because I love cooking. I love cooking, and I love seasoning things. And it's really funny because whenever I would cook, sometimes, you know, he used to get mad at me because it was like, oh, you should, like, why do you always have to make such huge batches of things? And I don't know why that was a problem for him, because it's like, oh, because I need the leftovers and it saves money. And then, and he would just get, like, really upset for, like, the strangest reasons. And it's like, I can't, like, I love trying to figure out people, but it's like, I just don't get it. But I don't know. I think it was probably just a reminder of the fact that I didn't like his cooking. But something too is like, he doesn't like the food that I like. So it's not something that like, oh, like, it's not like I'd rather just cook for myself, because I like, that's the thing is, like, for me, like, some people have like food as a love language. That's not it for me at all. For me, I'd rather just cook. Some of the things that I cook are a little odd. Like, I've talked about the fact that my favorite way to make eggs is when it's like in a disc form. Can't win with that guy? Yeah. Yeah. But as it goes, I mean, it's really... I have never met a person who doesn't have a strained relationship with their parents. That's just always the case, you know? It is how it is. It could be worse. What are you doing again, by the way? Are you bearing food? So what I'm doing is, I was making a clay pot. I was making clay vessels, and then I was putting them in a pit kiln. So, to fire up clay and make it actually solid, so I can store more food. So I'm making food storage. So I'm currently also looking for sticks. That way, because to make a... Oop, did not realize that was a currant bush. Second. Back down. So to make a pit kiln, you need dry grass. Is that another? Alright, I need currant bush. I need one with, like, sticks, please. So you need dried grass to fill it, and then you need sticks, and then you need either peat or firewood to put on top, and then you light it, and then it'll naturally bake the clay for you, and then I can have proper storage, because I'm running out of storage. And I keep making, like, reed chests out of the cattail reeds. However, it only gives me so much storage. And when you make clay containers, it is much better at preserving food or pelts or other materials. So if anything that can potentially rot will just take longer because it is not as exposed to the elements compared to a reed chest. So agriculture cleaner? That's the thing I really like about this game is it's just very detailed with all these little things. Just taking your time to focus on just making clay pots and working on things. I don't know. I like it. That's something that it definitely is a game that doesn't... It's not like instant gratification at all. It's like you very, very slowly work on things. And I like that. I've been needing a lot more relaxed sort of games. And despite it being a survival game with like eldritch monstrosities and like the damned falling off a cliff on top of my roof, it is just like... It's nice. I mean, it's nice being able to just work on little things. I don't know. It's just the workaholic in me, actually. I was considering starting up like a ghost stream and just like working on a lot of projects that I need to work on, and then I was like, actually, I want to play Vintage Story and then spend a shit ton of time just making little clay pots. I don't know why I like it so much. It's so satisfying, but I think it's because it also reflects real life, and like I'm so excited to reach the point in the game where I can actually focus on building my own house without worries. Like, I don't know. Starts smiling, starts giggling, starts twirling my head. My head? Twirling my head? And twirling my hair when I think about building my own place. Even in real life, I would love to build my own house. Too bad I am sickly. Alright. Let's light these bad boys up. One down. Come on. Two down. Alright. Looks like I'm gonna start starving soon, so I should cook. Hi, fishy. I also gotta start siphoning this. I feel like siphon is one word in my vocabulary that I overuse for everything. If I can use the word siphon for some reason, I just use it. I might have a mild obsession with that word. That's a problem that I have when playing Magic the Gathering, because if you have ever played like a card game, I've never used that word ever. Damn. Looks like Cotton isn't a true siphoner. But it's, I don't know, like, because in Magic the Gathering, the main deck I use is Lifesteal. And if you play card games, usually the terms matter, where it's like, you have to say this exact thing at this moment. A title taken away from me. A title that no longer belongs to you. You're not a true siphoner. Heartbreaking. I can't believe he did, she did this. Top 10 most controversial moments when Cotton didn't never use the word siphon much. But I don't know, it's usually just relevant to me. I like the word siphon. You play Magic? A little bit. A little bit. I only have one commander deck, so I only play commander, and I don't do competitions. So cool? No. 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 There's nothing cool. A controversial opinion, but there's nothing cool about Magic the Gathering. I like the art, I like the cards, I like the strategy, but I've never played, but I've always wanted to. Hell yeah. I got the chance to play it because my childhood friends, the 6'4" welder one, she's really into Magic the Gathering. And she has, like, several decks. And she's like, you want to play with me? And then she gave me her rat deck, which is black mana based. And, man, it was really fun. And then I was like, oh, like, I'm curious. So then I got excited learning all the different mana types and just, like, all the different decks you can do. But I really wanted to make my own. And So I was looking because there's a way to like set up your own decks online. Like there's two ways to play, and that's either you buy um card packs and then it's just pure luck what you use, which is what you need for tournaments, is just actually owning real cards. But you can also do proxy, which isn't the most honorable thing. But that's how most people I know play it, because it's like nobody I know actually is sweaty enough to do Magic the Gathering tournaments, and they just have more fun playing against friends. So, does that sound? That was my character taking damage because they were starving. At the very beginning of the game, when you customize your character, you can choose what sound they make, and I chose what supposedly is the oboe, but that doesn't sound so like an oboe at all for some reason. So you can use proxy, where you can just, there's online websites where you can set up your own decks and actually look at all the cards. And I always try, like, I don't like using expensive rare cards. Like, I always try and keep it cheap, and so that's what I was focused on. So I have a lifesteal commander deck. There's several different ways to play Magic. I think commander is the easiest to get into, and I just prefer it. Where you have, like, one card that you base your whole deck on, where it's your most powerful card and, like, has, like, a certain effect. And so I use a black magic, black mana card that is Ayara, and Ayara is like this vampire lord, and she's really cool. But every single time you like summon a monster or summon a character, an entity to attack for you, it ends up taking away health from everybody else around you, and then you take it. And so my whole deck pretty much is just spamming summoning monsters into the field, or like my little guys I send out, and then stealing all my friends' health until I can finish them off, or they can finish each other off. But then I just get an absurd amount of health too. It's just a simple way of playing it. The Rats deck is really kind of fucked up and evil, but it's also very fun to play as well. Black mana is usually like a deck that is good if you don't mind like getting health taken from you. Like some spells require you to like sacrifice some of your health, so being able to siphon a lot of health off of people. And I keep saying siphon, it's lifesteal with Magic. Other card games will have it defined differently, but it's fun because I just get to summon a ton of bats, rats, and vampires, and ghouls, and goblins, and then be like, I'm taking that, yoink. I think that's. There's other ways I wanted to play as well, but I don't know. I really don't have any desire to get another deck, because also I'm not somebody who cares about winning. So like for me, I just like playing this commander deck I made, and then. You're such a little nerd. Mm-hmm. I am indeed. But it also helps too, because I just have a lot of nerd people around me, a lot of nerd friends that are like, hey, you wanna play Magic? And I'm like, okay. You wanna play D&D? Okay. I think... I'm trying to think it. Whenever I play games against other people, I get so scared. Yeah, it can be intense. I don't really mind playing games against other people. I mean, my childhood friend, the one who got me into Magic, she's really, really into board games and is like a lot more competitive. And she almost always wins. She's just really good at them, but I just get happy playing board games because I don't know, I think it's fun. But I don't ever have like I don't get easily afraid of people. I shook every time I played chess. That's so cute. What do you mean? It's not even... I love that. I can't imagine that. I think I've talked about it before, but when I was in chess club when I was younger, I was obsessed with just forcing people into ties. You were in the chess club? You shook them every single time? Oh my gosh. That's so funny. I love that so much. We were both in chess club. You're calling me a nerd, but you're also a nerd. Caught in the chess club. Shaking. Shaking in the club, but it's not what you think. I've never won a single game of chess. Oh my gosh. I prefer just forcing people into ties. Because it would just piss people off really, really bad, and I thought it was really fun. Because that's the thing is, like, I'm well aware of my limits, and when you're against a stronger opponent, it is more difficult to win than it is to just make them tie with you, and then they get really frustrated because you have, like, 2 pieces less than them, but they have lost enough pieces to not be able to corner you properly, so then it's like, well, fuck you, bitch. That's way more fun. Because that's the thing is, like, you both live alive, or one person has to give it up, and they would always get upset because you have to forfeit the round, and I would never forfeit. So it's an infinite game. And it was so funny too because our club advisor, I'm panning for items. You know, like panning for gold, where like during the gold rush, people would go into the river and start panning and to see if there's gold, so there's like ore nearby. I'm just doing that though because you can get like stones and different things from it. I got quartz. I really got. Oh, I also got some copper from it. So you can pan for ore. So it's like the beginning ways of getting like different things. And so that's what all this is it's gravel that I've been panning. But see, that's the thing is, like, it's more difficult to win through normal terms. It's easier to do the most infuriating thing possible, where you trap them into forfeiting, even though by all rights they should have won. And the club advisor didn't want to argue on behalf of my opponent because, you know, when you can tell a teacher doesn't like a kid? Does your door just fall every time you open it? No, it has like a chance. Sometimes it doesn't. But it only takes a few clicks for it to fall. We gotta make better doors. That's what I'm working towards. Alright. What I need to do is I need to make more food. And then I also need to go out to where I found ore deposits. Copper deposits, and then I can make an anvil. And then I can make saws, and then I can make a door. I've just been fucking around most of this, I feel. But, yeah, it's fine, it's fine. This is fine. Alright, I'm gonna have turnips. I'm gonna have puffballs. I've been eating the same thing nonstop this game. It's always turnip puffball stew. Oh, that's another vegetable that I really, really, really like. I love turnips. You mean when the kid is a troublemaker and the teacher gets frustrated? No, opposite. When there is a smug kid in chess that is like really arrogant and keeps having a big win streak and keeps just like being rude to the other kids, so they keep complaining about it, and then you're very mischievous but like constantly is actually helping tutor kid, then is like, well, time to put this arrogant prick in his place. Because that's something too, is that for people in the chess club that weren't that good at chess, it was actually more fun for me to teach them how to force a tie, because then, you know, you can't be defeated, right? And so that's something that then they could also use to infuriate the higher, more popular players. And so, like, the teacher disliked the kid that I was making pissed off because, like, it's just a fucking game. Well, I was taking it easy, but I was a very aggravating... First, most of the teachers I had growing up, besides my English teachers, but that's a complex situation. They all pretty much liked me. I used to be like a delinquent, but I would always just complete my work anyways, and I was always just like really good at not causing them trouble. So, yeah, as it goes. Alright, so there's clay. I wanted to head up to this way, to that copper. Then I can dig around. Oh, I didn't wait for my food to be done. Well. Oh, fuck, I'm gonna starve. That's great. That's great. That's great. Well. Especially if I'm digging. I'm getting way too distracted. I'm always distracted. Even if I wasn't chatting, I'd still probably do the same mistakes. That's one of the reasons why I struggled in the academic setting, is a lot of times I would miss a ton of school because I've always been just like a sickly kid as well. So I'd have to take weeks and weeks and weeks off school, and usually by the first semester, like before the first semester was over, they'd be like, Mettie hasn't gone to school enough. Actually, cucumbers aren't that bad. Cucumber. I used to hate cucumbers. But now I like cucumbers. I love cucumbers. I love pickles especially. And that's just fancy. Or not fancy. It's just cucumbers, but they're put in brine and then left to sit a little bit. Pickles are just okay to me. I love pickles. They're yummy. A nice crisp pickle. Alright, this is where we found the copper. Oh, I'm definitely gonna starve, but that's okay. Sometimes in life you starve, but it always takes a little bit. That's the interesting thing about starving, is it's not a very straightforward thing. It's because it's all about, you know, first you haven't been eating and then your body starts to digest itself and then your organs start to shut down and start malfunctioning. And so starvation isn't necessarily like a straightforward way to die, because it's like more organ failure or like other problems that come about because your body not getting proper nutrients. That's interesting. That's so cool. It's just in Cotton Kisses thinks starvation is cool. No, I think starvation is cool. Obviously, because of something too is like, do I support starvation? That's a weird statement in the first place, right? But, I mean, no. I mean, if I don't want to cook a meal, do I eat? Well, most of the time I do, but, I mean, I do feel really, really bad for people who can't get access to food, and I believe everybody should have a right to access food, and that it should be just, like, we make a surplus of food that, like, goes into landfills. I think organ shutdown is cool, not starvation. Hehe. That's the same thing! That's the same thing! Organ shutdown is really, really fascinating. It can be caused by so many different factors. If I break that gravel's gonna crush me. Yeah, but I really do believe that we have way too much food waste. And we have like, a lot of the people that suffer from starvation are just victims of capitalist greed. So it's just like, yeah, so much food gets thrown away because more than likely people buy in excess. Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like, also corporations get payoffs from based on how much product loss they have. Like, genuinely, fast fashion will burn droves and droves of clothes and then write it down as a loss they had. So then, like, due to corporate sympathies, it's like, oh no, you poor corporation, you burned all these things, then you're acting as if you lost something, and then they get a tax write-offs, and so don't have to pay that much. So naturally, being destructive actually benefits. Destroying the products they have actually benefits these corporations. And that, like, shows up in a lot of different types of corporations and how things are run. I want this flax fiber, dude. I want to drop my peat or my wooden pan. I mean, I could drop my wooden pan. That's easy to remake. That's so odd. On God, yes. It's something that, you know, when it comes down to it, individual waste rarely ever accounts for the problems this world has compared to just fucking corporate greed and destruction. There's a ton of different articles and videos and information on it. I do think also one of my friends, their favorite animes and mangas, Princess Jellyfish, also covers the insanity of how much fashion is burnt from the fast fashion industry. That's like a shoujo manga with queer themes, I do believe. I've never read it myself, but... Parsnips? More? Why did I never realize there's parsnips by the trader card? We are wealthy in this world. Parsnip. I'll be back. Princess Jellyfish is a godly series? Hell yeah. Is it that series that talks about that? I can't remember if it's that or another series. When I was younger, I did not actually watch or read any of my friends' recommendations usually. I was one of those friends. So yeah. I never got around to it. I've never read it or watched it, but I can't believe it's just... Okay, cool. I'll have to check that out. Wait, I'm gonna die if I go into those flames. I'm starving. Okay. Need a bowl. Also need to put shit away. I know, buddy. I know you're starving. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna have carrots and puffball stew. I want a little bit of diversity in my food. There we go. Okay. I forgot about what I needed to make, because I realized I was mining copper, but I need a hammer to break these copper, because it's not... I need to actually get the copper chunks out of the little bits of stone that I did, so... Fuck. Okay. Shit. Alright, let's put the peat in here. Where's my copper? This grain's in here. Oh... Don't worry, I used to be someone who hated taking media recommendations, and still kind of am. I think in general, too, it's something that... What helps is reminding myself I can come back to a recommendation whenever I want. I have a giant list of recommendations I've gotten on my phone. So I can keep track of it, and I can remember. I do that a lot for just everything that I can. So it doesn't feel forced on me. That's the thing, too, is, like, somebody wants for recommendations, or sometimes be like, oh, yeah, I read this series. I think you'd like it. Check it out if you want. Like, I think it's easy for, especially if you consider somebody a friend, to have expectations of them having a certain response or instantly doing something. But humans are really complex. Sleeping raccoon! Oh, wait. Looks partially charred. This is dead. Perhaps due to a lightning strike? A raccoon got hit by lightning outside of my house. It hasn't been raining out here. Excuse me? I wasn't... It hasn't even been raining. It hasn't, right? Random raccoon, what happened to you? Literally. I'm baffled. I'm in shock. Like, what the fuck do you... That's crazy. All right, let's go get this clay so I can make a mold for a hammer. That way I can make a hammer to break apart those copper chunks. Oh my god. That raccoon's gonna haunt me. What the what the hell? Just so odd. Strange things happen in the middle of nowhere. I've turned it off mostly, but this game naturally has like a sepia filter to it. Did I name it color grading? Is that it? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe this the first place I landed in was just a lot more yellow. But it genuinely, it felt like Courage the Cowardly Dog, and I just think about, I now associate this game as if it's like, yeah, it's a block game like Minecraft, but it's a lot more Courage the Cowardly Dog. Strange things happen out of nowhere with Courage the Cowardly Dog show. Love Courage? Me too. Used to be one of my favorite shows growing up. Just a little dog trying to keep his owner alive. Now that I'm an adult, especially, I'm like, I find it so interesting how distinct that style was and the way they drew environments. It is so strongly surreal, and I've never seen anything quite like it. I wonder how people come up with ideas like that. So distinct. Literally. And I love stuff like that because obviously there's a lot of derivative media, and that's fine. I mean, most things are derivative. But then sometimes you just get some things where it's just, there's nothing else quite like it. And I'm like, I would so badly just love to have a conversation with like the main artist, because that's so fascinating. The art is just so interesting. The design, the locations, the people, the situations that happen. It's just really, really cool. Like, where did your mind go for that art direction? Yeah, like the classic, like, Mummy for, like, Return the Slab, and it just all of a sudden kind of gets just, it changes style. Like, it's, like, weirdly rendered, and it's like, oh, that's fucking horrific. What the fuck? How did you come up with that? That's honestly kind of sickening. I love it. What children were you trying to traumatize? Literally. Me, I'm the children. Ah, yes. My sister used to be really freaked out of Courage the Cowardly Dog. Yeah, but she still liked it, and she would still watch it, but then she wouldn't sleep, and then she'd just... Again? Girl! You guys have to stop! Looks crushed? Yeah, no shit. I didn't expect my house to be a hotspot for this sort of thing, but, you know, whatever. Hey, I mean, later down the line, at the very least, this real estate will stay cheap, I guess. They really just want to get to know you. No, they don't. They don't want to get to know anybody. They're jumping off a cliff. Like, that's not an easy mistake to do. They said, I've had enough. They've said, I'm tortured, I'm sick, I've had enough. They said, girl... They were like, I need somebody to be a witness, though. That's what they said. They said, I need something to be a witness. I need to make somebody's day worse. God, this is the third one. I should keep a tally on this. I need 2 more stick. Didn't think that my house would be a hot spot for anything. curious if there is a little cave. They just keep spawning up there and then just jumping off. Just the corpse wing there. But it doesn't make your day worse. You just go, huh, another one. Mm-hmm. Another one. I mean, it is just startling to just hear thunk, and then you hear just like a dying noise of some beast. But at the very least, I can also harvest things from their corpses, so I mean, it's not the worst. But it is also like, huh. Do they drop loot? Sometimes. There's a very rare chance that they do drop loot. Good, good. Alright, I need more sticks. That's why I went out. I need 2 more sticks, and then I planted my seeds, then for some reason I started walking back to my house. Just that monster's body just spread out on the roof. Your house is just a monster farm? It probably is, technically. People love to, like, set up, like, oh, I just set up, like, a skeleton bone farm. On, like, Minecraft and stuff. I've never been that type of person. And it looks like I have the tech figured out, though, for farming monsters, I guess. I mean, it could be worse. It'd honestly be worse if they were just spawning outside of my house. Alright, let's find... I need some sticks. There's, like, plain leaves, and then there's, like, branchy leaves, and I'm looking for the branchy leaves. Alright, 5 sticks. Let me get a few more, just in case I need tools. Yeah, they could still be alive after falling. I was originally, like, when I first chose that spot to be in, I was like, oh, I could expand upwards. And then, I don't think I will, actually, because monsters, I don't know what the fall height is needed for them to die, but I feel like if it was 1 block higher, they might just stroll right on down, and that's exactly what I don't want. Yeah, because they spawn up there, and they drop. And they die. So I feel like a few blocks higher, maybe it wouldn't work, and they'd just walk right off. All these cattails. Currently, man, I'm in a place where I don't really need cattails right now. Oh, I'm about to die, though. That's not good. I'm not about to die. I'm about to start starving. Yoink. Delicious, yummy stew. Alright, let's take the pot out. Let's put this bushmeat in. For some reason, you can't use bushmeat in stews, which I think is stupid. I would put it in a stew. My character should be able to put a stew. I think that should just always be the case. If you would put something in a stew, your character should be able to put things in a stew. That is dumb. I don't know why they did that. That's it, fuck you. But, like, we added so many good features to this game, we have to add some that make you pissed off. Rabbit stew? Exactly. See, that's the thing, is you have to domesticate them to have it work, because bushmeat is different from, like, if you, like, have them as, like, a farmed animal and you've been breeding them. But, I mean, people hunt rabbits and eat them in modern times, in the past. Like, it shouldn't be distinctly different. I think it's a way to, like, push people to farm animals. I don't know if it's just cursed. All of a sudden, like, the animal curses you if you put them in a stew. I don't know. It's very odd. Very peculiar. I think it's mostly just to incentivize players to get into domestication. Progression thing? Yeah. Because it's the only way that makes any sense. Damn, my character is not lighting this fire. Girl. It's not that hard. There we go. And now I have these that are fired. So I know we have more storage. Okay. Is that actually how people light fires? What's the best way to do it? Okay. So, there's several different ways to light fires. The type of fire starter used in this game is a stick. So, you take one stick, and then you make a little slot in it. And then you have another stick, and then you rub the one stick on the other one with the dry grass on it, and you whittle it back and forth really fast to then start up a flame. So that's a way to do it. Flint. If you have flint, you can hit it on rocks, and that can start a fire. That's genuinely the best way if you're out in the wild, but you also have to be lucky enough to find flint. One stick, and then you also have to be lucky to find a rock that has the sediment in it that specifically reacts to the flint and causes sparks. One stick with a slot and then another stick, and then whittle back and forth really fast. But you also need to make sure that you have dried grass right where you're whittling it back and forth, because that's what's going to catch fire. However, once you eventually start a fire, the best way to have a fire starter is to keep an ember. And there's several different ways you can keep an ember on hand. There's a ton of different ways. In certain cultures, they'll use bamboo tubes with some airflow and like some other different things. It's really interesting. Also, certain tree resins and saps are flammable. And so using that to keep fire going. And so in general, it's just useful to have always a fire going. Oh, the second rock for flint matters. Is that why people use steel? Or... Huh? What? Oh! Why does it look like it's still moving? Not on my roof this time, at least. Why is it moving like that? I don't like that. I don't like that it's moving. Alright, we got the fourth one. Okay, so far we've had 4 different monsters just in the stream alone that have thrown themselves off a cliff and killed themselves on my roof. That's great. This is so good. This is so great, I guess. Huh. Well. Alright, this will take another like 20 hours. So I won't be able to do anything for the next while regarding that. I mean, I guess I could start pouring for an anvil, but no. I'll have some more seeds I can plant. Alright. Isn't 4 like the death number? In both Japanese and Chinese, the sound for 4 that they have is the same as death. Alright, we got copper there. I have carrots there. I could go, because that's where the vein was that was exposed. I could go and get more of that. Just need to cook more food. Also, I need more firewood. I need a lot more. Okay, I need to make... Where's my flint? There it is. Gotta put things away too. Alright, birch seeds, oiled hides, parsnips. Do I have small bones? What else? Flax. I don't need this dried grass right now. Red clay I should place. I think I have some red clay. No, I definitely don't. Okay, we'll put that there. Put these stones over there. Alright, let's make another axe and let's go out and let's chop some trees. Alright, we got the axe head. We have the stick. We have the flint axe. It should be getting dark, but that's fine. Let's see. Current rift activity is medium. It's not the greatest, but that's fine. It's currently 7:05. Okay. We have a little bit until night. Our food stock is pretty good. We have a decent amount of crops growing. Wait, I have that watering can already finished. I should make sure to water my crops. They'll naturally water themselves a little bit if they're next to a water source, but the farther away it gets, the more it struggles to bring moisture. I like these tall mountains, tall, steep cliffs. Alright. It's time. Gotta pour myself more tea. My tea's already getting cold. Probably is already cold. I've been streaming for 2 hours now. I made this batch of tea right before I started streaming, so. It's not as cold as I was expecting. It's a little cold. I like that there's, like, variation on, like, how dense the grass is in the texture. Like, here it's a bit more sparse, and I actually really like that. Just really slight detail. 2-hour cold tea. I hate when drinks that are supposed to be hot or cold. I definitely prefer them to be hot. Ice? Okay. Oh. We got this, we got this, we got this. We just gotta rush him. Wait. Oh god, there's a spider. Fuck! Lose a drift or two. Alright, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. I am against iced anything. If you put ice in a drink, you are actively... Well, vocal cords get brittle when exposed to cold. Cold hot chocolate? Okay. Cold hot chocolate is evil. If you want cold chocolate drink, then you have chocolate milk or you have Ovaltine. You don't need... Yeah, yeah. Come here, bitch. I gotta stop saying that. I don't like how I said that. Look at it just struggling to be in water. I gotta switch over to spear. It's fucking me up. I shouldn't let this thing get close. Oh, you're creepy. The shivers freaked me out. My knife is broken. They just drink chocolate milk. And then if you want more nutrients, I know old people, like, especially older generations drink Ovaltine, which is like a chocolate drink mix. Also mentioned in the comedy movie Young Frankenstein. I haven't watched that movie in a while. There you go. Yeah, my family used to drink so much of that. I always thought it was hot chocolate. Hell yeah. You can drink it cold or you can drink it warm. I used to drink a lot more Ovaltine, just because I had a lot of problems with my body, and I was like, well, might as well make sure that I got all the nutrients I need, and they just have a lot of additives that will keep you healthy. So it's like, it is really good for, especially older people who need a lot more support. You used to eat it by the spoonfuls? That's really funny. Really? I had no idea. Yeah, just a second. Ovaltine nutrition facts. It has vitamin A, D, C, B6, niacin, thiamine, copper, magnesium, iron, and calcium. Of course, you can actually look at the specifics of what the percentages are, but in general, all those additives are good. I mean, if you're gonna have chocolate milk or like I was eating good as a kid, So Ovaltine is like genuinely something that if you need any of those and you don't have a good way of naturally getting like vitamin A or niacin, it's like it's a good choice. You know, I'm gonna have parsnip stew. I'm gonna use 3 parsnips and then I'm gonna have puffball. Hearty parsnip stew to hefty parsnip puffball stew. That should be good. 28 firewood. I'm gonna start stacking it over here. I'm somebody that very much has to put importance on keeping track of my health and really trying to make sure that I am getting proper nutrients. And I think in general, it is important and also like a good habit to get into. But I'm not ever going to be somebody who's an asshole about it. That's one of the biggest problems I see is when people online are just being assholes to random people for no good fucking reason. Like, whether they be eating good or not has nothing to do with you. Because obviously you don't actually care about this person. Proper nutrition seems so important. It is extremely important. Especially once you reach 30, your body stops being able to repair itself as easily. So your bones, your like arthritis, all these different problems, like spinal problems, bone problems, ligament problems, tendon problems, eyesight can get worse, all these sort of things. Like, how in the world is someone supposed to eat so much fiber in a day? It's difficult. It's very difficult. It helps if you like things like beans. It helps if you like things like, actually, let me pull up a list. Vegetables often have a lot more fiber. Bananas have fiber. A lot of people, and something too is you don't want to jump right into the deep end with fiber too. Fiber-rich foods. Yeah, a lot of foods, you know, in general, like peas, whole wheat, whole grains. Whole grains are a good way. So, switching from whole wheat, yeah. There's also a lot of fruits. Avocados are too. Like apples have fiber. Pumpkin has fiber. Sweet potatoes have fiber. That's the thing is that, like, beans are really high in fiber, and they only cause problems if you don't already eat fiber. Anytime you introduce a lot of fiber without slowly making your way up, it'll just make you in misery. Prunes. Yeah. Prunes, oranges, apples, bananas, raspberries, lentils, almonds. If you like nuts, that helps. Like, there's a lot of ways to get fiber. It's just important to slowly ease your way up to a large part. Oh, is that why beans make people? Yeah, exactly. It's introducing a large amount of fiber into your diet without slowly making your way up. The body does not like shifts, jolts, and things. I think I've talked about the fun fact before that if even a cis male is capable of lactating, if you starve them and then feed them a ton of nutrient-rich foods, because it causes a hormone flux and causes a huge shift in body chemistry. And so the shock of getting so much hormones will naturally create a similar response because the body will all of a sudden think that even a cis male can get pregnant. It's very strange. I've heard of people using chia seeds and regretting it. Chia seeds are once again, don't overuse fiber. This is a big problem. It's really important to slowly get their way in to using fiber. And then chia seeds, one of the biggest problems I see is people don't soak them long enough. Chia seeds grow. Chia seeds also have like this enzyme like shell on the outside, like this I'm not using any right word terms. I was gonna say like an amniotic sac. That's not the right term at all. But they have, like, it's important to, like, soak them for a long time and use them properly. As they should have been lactating. I think that, I was actually thinking this earlier. I think that it's sad. Like, I think humans missed out on the beauty of being a species that has intersex as just the norm. I think having it so that there's not just a binary division that culturally comes across, especially in modern days, like there's always been like in-betweens like myself, but like there's so many animals that are both male and female, and then when they come across a partner, then they decide on what sex they are. So no matter what, like any one of those animals is capable of pregnancy, but they still have diversity. So many, like what? I do believe seahorses. Let me see. Yes, seahorses. Clownfish. Sorry, I'm also reading a little bit about them. Earthworms, barnacles, snails, slugs. Let me actually strip a list of intersex animals. Intersex animals. Intersex animal, normal. And some of them are specifically born like female. Like there's lizards that produce asexually, where they will like they'll have like, they aren't capable of like penetration or anything like that. So it's just there's not as much genetic diversity in them, but then they'll just like mount each other, but it doesn't actually cause anything besides the one actually all of a sudden just like starts making eggs. Very interesting. I should have been a slug. I love slugs. Yeah, there's asexual reproduction, but I like the ones that are like that just switch around. I think that's the best one. I think that's the best one. I support the asexual reproduction animals, but I think when they can choose one or another, I think that's cool. Yeah, a lot of fish species. That is so fucking okay. This is really cool. Do you want to get pregnant or should I? A lot of time it's a fight. Like seahorses fight. And then whoever ends up actually successfully getting a stab in on the other one, that's who wins. It's so funny. But that's a clownfish mentality. Also, listen to this. Anglerfish live deep in the ocean where it is hard to find a mate. In some species, a male is a fraction of the size of a female. If a male encounters a female, he latches onto her permanently and her circulation grows into his body. He becomes essentially an organ of the female, her testes, which she can use to produce sperm as needed to fertilize her eggs. They absorb each other. Can you imagine being absorbed to be like an organ? That's crazy. That's so cool. That's so cool. Oh. There are also some mammals with hermaphroditic characteristics where they have both male and female genitalia. Though there are rarely, if ever, true hermaphrodites that can reproduce as either male or female. In one species of moles, for example, each female has ovotestes, gonads that are intermediate between an ovary and a testis. In spotted hyenas, females have a penis, an elongated genital that is almost as long as a male's penis, so that when they urinate, mate, and give birth. In the wild, many mothers and many more infants die in the process of giving birth due to the complications. Female spotted hyenas may have maintained a penis through evolution because it plays a critical role in social signaling in their matriarchal colonies. That's so interesting. Don't have me unless you look like this, male anglerfish. I'm technically a dragonfish, so I'm not an anglerfish, but we are very similar, and I think that's really interesting. I had no clue. What are the social signals? Oh, I saw the part where it talks about the social signals. I don't want to talk about how... If you want to search up how female hyenas use their penises to socialize, you can. It's actually really interesting, but I'm like, I should limit this. I do upload the VOD to YouTube. Talking too much about this. That's another reason that I also like. You gonna fall too? Make the jump. Do a flip. There's another one up there. My friend, my FBI agent in the morning is gonna be so confused. Ah, yes. I mean, it's not uncommon for humans to search up about animal reproduction. It is fascinating. I remember, it's pretty common, especially when you're in middle school, to be like, haha, you should search up what a duck penis looks like. I should stop talking about these things, but it's like, you know, it's not uncommon. For some reason, humans love... Well, I think it's fascinating, but pretty much every human, it's like, huh, I wonder. Huh. I'm gonna go water my crops. I'm worried about rabbits eating my crops, so I should make a fence at some point. Can you pick up water, please? There we go. Damn. Also, autocorrect has been so ass recently. I heard it's because they're using AI now and it just sucks. Oh, God. I always have autocorrect turned off. The typos stay. I'm so tired of AI. It's just a headache and a half. I just don't get it. I just hate it being implemented and everything. It's so unnecessary. It's not helpful. And it honestly is causing problems. If I find out that somebody has used it for a paper, I'm literally hitting you in the head. I'm so tired of this stupid buzzword. I just need to let it die, literally. And something too is like there's a lot of other things that aren't even like have existed before that they're now calling AI, and it's like, no. Like MTL, which is machine translation, that's not intelligence, dude. That's literally just a automatic dictionary with some more specifics to it. Like, come on, dude. And like generative AI also, how is that one? It's supposed to stand for artificial intelligence. How? How does that compute to actual intelligence? I just don't, like, it's just ridiculous. And then all those data centers that are genuinely just hazardous to people's healths, and then RAM prices just being insane now. Like, the only people that are benefiting from this are investors, but it's just investors investing in... like... It's not... Nobody wants it. And it just keeps making people lose jobs. I'm so tired, too, of seeing game devs being like, well, we need to use AI. And it's, what about brainstorming? We can have that help us. Bro, you have a brain. Girl, things are derivative, yeah, but just, search up, medieval, or search up, fantasy, and then just look at shit. Like, the fuck? Stop. Cease this. You do not need a machine to tell you what to think. If you can't, brainstorming is literally the first thing that you learn in school. Like, what? Me as an investor in some random says AI, literally. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. That's something too that, like, I've always been somebody that I will never discourage somebody. Well, actually, that's why. I'm somebody that if somebody is in art school, I will never say anything. But even before AI existed, I have always believed that all of the skills you need can be learned by yourself, and then you save a shit ton of money and yourself going into debt. And a lot of my friends who have been in art school have left it, and it's just fucked up. And now, especially in a day and age where you aren't valued at all as an artist, it's like, don't give your money to corporate institutions or like institutions that are literally big sellouts and care a lot about their investors and don't actually give a fuck. Like, the main thing you benefit from going to art school is networking. And you can get into companies and get internships easier that way. But even then, you know, not every single art student gets that. And I know so many art students that just regret it immensely. So I've just... Ugh. Do you think this era will be called Fear of AI? Like, what will this moment be in history? I think that... Well, okay. So, this specific side of this time, I think in general, there's a lot of different terms to go by, because you think of what context would it be used. And you would assume, if it's, like, talking about it in the future, a textbook, right? Well, there's a lot of different ways. You'd have to think about who's writing it. They could be talking about... Well, if it's in the future, too, if it's past, then probably talking about the AI bubble, because it would be useful in economics and understanding investment alongside how things work, how money works, how all these corporate things go, you know, all these different developments happen. Because it feeds into so many different things. Now, when it comes down to specific countries, usually they have different ways of talking about different eras. Like the Victorian era is called the Victorian era in any place that was colonized or just was Britain because of Queen Victoria. However, that time period was called Belle Epoque, both in France and Italy. So there's like different definitions. So, I don't know. What was I doing? Oh, I needed more sticks. I got enough sticks. I started going on autopilot. I'm glad this game just allows you to, like, turn your brain off for a moment. You can just keep doing things, and no matter what, it's gonna benefit you, so nice. Awesome. That's exactly what I want. I think if I were to write on this era, I would probably approach it in different ways, because something, too, is, like, the 2020s... We're now at the later half of the 2020s, which is a strange thing to think about because it feels like it's been no time since 2020 itself. And there's just a lot of different cultural phenomenon going on. AI is a more recent development in the last few years. But, I mean, especially since 2020, well... I mean, for America, of course, we're now going through a genuine fascist regime alongside, like, the recreation of a lot... Bro! Oh, you son of a bitch! Come down! Get down here. Didn't even think about that. I'm gonna have to take that down. I'm gonna have to trim the edges on the... Look at my health. God damn it. Alright, I gotta eat, and then I do have to sleep, because that's the only way I'm... Well, actually, time can heal that, but... I'm gonna have 3 parsnips, and then I wanna have a turnip. Oh, I am starting to get low on food. Fuck! It's gonna be a while before my food happens. So, like, America right now is going through a lot of phenomenon. So it's, like, all defined by a lot of different factors. I mean, also there's some other, like... Obviously, politics plays a big role into it because, I mean, politics are a part of everything. Unfortunately, did it die? Wait, where the fuck is it? I don't... Oh. was such a funny. It just ink, and then just slowly falls backwards. That was so beautiful. Thank you for your life, buddy. Okay. Yeah, I should probably trim those walls down. I could keep it like that. Okay. Pet kiln, pet kiln. Lamele, hammer mold. The hammer mold's still going. Okay. Woo! Yeah, but I think AI is going to have a bunch of different names based on where it is when going into the future. And also, it's important to think about, you know, who's writing about it, how's it's being specified, the culture's own relation, and what lingers afterwards, or if it doesn't stop at all. So, it'll be interesting to see. I like the music, it's kind of groovy. Oh, wait, just got Tails here. I want to make, like, shelves. I also need more firewood. There's so much I have to do. I need more food. Alright, I guess I'll use some of my grain, I guess. Alright, 2. Let's have 1 onion, and let's have 1 turnip. Onion, turnip, porridge. Nice. The real fantasy of vintage story is being able to be at peace. Because despite having monsters fall on top of my roof and dying, and getting attacked by bears and wolves and boars, I mean, the only time I really felt like I was able to take a breath and breathe in the modern era is when I took a trip to the middle of fucking nowhere in North Ontario and I slept in my car. Are there sicknesses in this game? I don't think so. Wait, there's like there's kind of like sanity. Oh my god, what the fuck is that? Look at that butt. It's one of the spider ones. Oh, it's drowning. Well, you can stick around, I guess, for now. There's like there's like sickness related to like the alternate dimension, I do believe. Was it nice just to be in the middle of nowhere? Yes. It's the tall, beautiful pines around me, and the air just... I kept saying when I got back, it tasted like candy. It felt like candy, you know? Not literally, but it's genuinely just distinctly different as soon as you get away from civilization. How much purer the air is, and... You know... I slept on the side of the road in my car, and I just got to look at all these different stars, and... Man. Freedom is an illusion in most cases. Because no matter what, there's always responsibilities and repercussions and all sorts of factors that go into it. And there's also a level of self-censorship that goes on due to societal structuring and stigmas. So, you know. Is that a fucking wolf growling at me? Oh, yeah. I just wanted my puffball mushrooms. What am I chasing? Is that a rabbit? Oh, it's a raccoon. Looks like a rabbit, too. Well, I guess I don't get puffballs. Is that a sleeping boar? It is. Woo! First boar killed. Fuck you, bitch. I am tired of... Ooh, 7. Ooh. Alright, let's oil this hide. That way it doesn't rot. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. I find it really fun how many times I catch people quoting Lord of the Rings. And I love that's just a really, really common one that people say when they're playing survival games, and I think that's cute. I want a sweet potato now. I had so many of them before that I got sick of them. I get it. I had a moment like that too. I kept getting myself sweet potatoes because I was like, oh, this is exactly what I need. And then I proceeded just to like be like, I'm sick of this. I'm so sick of this. But I'm very prone to that. That's why it's important. It's important to have diversity in your diet because it is just like, oh, I'm tired of this, please. Is this a stairway going up? Was this a tower? Oh my god. Wait, if this was a stairway, does that mean if we go down? I gotta dig this up. Gotta dig this up. Something can be really yummy, but if it's too much all the time, it's yet less yummy. And potatoes are really filling. It's one of the most satiating things you can eat. When I didn't realize I had celiac, I kept feeling just like, I'm like, I don't know why I'm always so hungry. Fun fact, celiac destroys your intestinal lining so you can't absorb nutrients, so it is barely like you are eating anything. Not the greatest, but I ended up eating a lot of potatoes at the time because I wanted to feel full. And it was driving me crazy, just feeling like I was starving all the time. That's one of the reasons I got sick of sweet potatoes, but yeah, I did some research and I was like, well, what can make me feel really full? And usually it's like fattier things, potatoes, like carbohydrates based things, but potatoes especially just are really filling. So if you are somebody that has, also if you have a problem with overeating things, if you use potatoes, it can help you feel full faster. That way you don't binge eat so much. It's interesting. Protein or fiber? Beans are also filling too. Fibra. I don't believe it's ER, but chicken. What happens if I trap a chicken in a box? I think you can make boxes. Beans. I used to eat a lot of soybeans, and then I got a soy allergy, and now that shit sucks. I miss it. I've been recently wanting to get more into making bean soup. My family has a bean soup recipe that I do enjoy. I'd have to alter some things in it, of course, but maybe, perhaps. I should ask my aunt about it sometime. Get the recipe from her. Your door felled? I know. It's just laying there. So sad and pathetic. It said, I've had enough, actually. Okay. Let's put away the rye grain. And let's cook this bushmeat. Yum, yum, yum. Oh, why did I... That. It just like me for real. Especially because it's been so dang cold out. It's been really difficult to get up immediately. Usually I'm good about it, but recently it's like, I don't want to have to actually fucking stand up. Betty, what do you do to make yourself feel better? For what? Mentally? Mentally, if I'm like struggling mentally, I usually watch my idols. So like Utsugi Uyu, Hollow Stars. And that makes me feel a bit better. If it's about getting up physically, eat well, exercise a little bit, and then also like treat, because not feeling well, there's almost always a cause. So then you try and counteract the cause. If you aren't feeling well, recently in the morning when I wake up, I do jumping jacks. Usually I just get up and do things. Usually it's just like grumble before getting up. But I really tried hard to make it so I could get up almost as soon as I as I wake up. But how I did it in the past was I used to stab myself in the thigh. Don't do that, don't do that. But that is how I did it, and that was back in middle school. And so I'm like always like convinced somebody's gonna stab me. And so I immediately just get up. That's so hard. Yeah, don't do that. But I've always been a little brutal with me. Sweet middle school Mettie. Yeah. Yeah. What a strange time. Alright, we finally got the hammer mold. Woo! Totally not like it's been a long time of me wanting that. Days in vintage stories are pretty long, so it's really interesting actually having to set up like 3 meals and have like a lot of time just to sit around. Alright. I'm gonna let the rest of this bushmeat cook, and then I'm going to put that crucible in, put what I need, make the hammer. It should be good. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna put the oil tide. I'm gonna put everything I need away. Actually, I want to put these tongs up. You can't pick up metalworking, like really hot melted metal containers with your bare hands, unfortunately. So you have to use the tongs to grab it. Do you ever meditate? Yeah, all the time. When I was little, I used to be obsessed with Buddhist monks, and I used to, my parents were the type of people that were like, you can learn about every religion, and then you can decide whether or not you want to believe in anything, and we'll support you. And so we have like a shit ton of books and all sorts of cultures and beliefs, and my grandfather, on my mother's side, that I wasn't blood related to, he married in, he was a Buddhist motorcycler, and I always had a good relationship with him, and so I started asking him questions about Buddhism, and then I got really obsessed with Buddhist monks and the way that they could train their body to do things that almost felt like having superpowers pretty much. So then I got obsessed with being able to control my body and meditate to the point that I could control my body temperature. So I used to sit outside with a temperature, like a thermometer in my mouth, and I would just constantly meditate and try and listen and understand my body to the point that I could control my temperature. And I got it to like shift a few, I think the highest I got was 0.4 degrees, which I was sad about. I wanted to be able to move at 1 temperature, but I didn't realize how actually like it would consistently happen to. I don't know. Yeah, I've always really liked meditation. It's always been a big part of just my day-to-day. I wouldn't be able to function without it. Shout out meditation, my goat. Meditation, my goat. It is really, really difficult for some people, though. But it is really, really helpful. It's really good. But there's a lot of, like, that's the thing is that psychosomatic illness has always been a thing. The brain is incredibly powerful, and you have way more control over your body than a lot of people take advantage of. And so, like, there's that one woman who just, like, do you just not think? Kind of. Because it's about feeling. It's not about thinking, it's about feeling. Because, like, you can take a deep breath and you can feel every single pore in your body, every single bone and tendon, every single strip of flesh, every single organ, all to this specific detail. Like, you can feel it all if you just take the time to learn to feel it. You can feel your stomach moving, you can feel your intestines, you can feel all these things. Like, it's all there inside of you. You just have to listen. You have to feel it. And so that's what I focus on when I meditate, is just feeling. It's listening to just the self. And by understanding that to a large extent, you can keep day by day understanding to a greater context, and that can make it easier to pinpoint illness. It can make it easier to pinpoint all these sort of things, and allows you better control. Like, I'm somebody that a lot of people complain that I walk very, very silently, because I'm very, very conscious of every single slight step, all these different muscles and tendons in my foot and how to place it and the exact balance of my body. Yeah. So that's what I focus on when meditating the most. But sometimes I do just like clear my mind and allow it to be empty. Like completely, because there's a difference between thinking. And sometimes, like, you can't help but think sometimes, so what you do instead is focus on something to repeat or something to focus on. Like, often I will set up music. Like, my favorite thing to, not surprisingly, meditate to is, like, Guts' theme from the 1997 anime of Berserk. And so I will just listen to that and instead replace your head. But even think about when empty mind, yeah, you don't think. And so instead, like, if you struggle with just clearing your mind and not thinking, you just focus. So, like, for instance, with Guts, there's no lyrics, there's no nothing, and so you just try to purely focus on just having that fill your mind, where you aren't recreating it or anything, you're just focusing on that. You're just trying to make your mind all about this one thing. No thoughts, no verbal. Like, and that's something, too, is a lot of people, like, no person experience thought the same way. Some people can't visualize in their head. Some people visualize in their head. Some people, there's still some people who never learned how to think, like, a read in their head. So sometimes they just, you know, can't read things aloud in their mind. So there's a ton of different ways that you can, like, a ton of people that have different ways. Like, for me, a lot of the way I process the world is through smell. So a lot of way that I process my own emotions is actually through smell and abstract ideas of smell and feelings rather than anything else. So it is all unique to each and every person. Of course, some people are more similar than others on how they process the world, but yeah. That's the thing, is, like, meditation doesn't work for everybody. I'm not going to be foolish enough to say that, oh, anybody can learn it. Especially if you are neurodivergent and you really, really struggle. It takes a lot of training, and some people just don't have it in them to feel motivated to do it, for one. Motivation is a big factor of doing anything, and some people don't have the motivation, or they don't have the understanding of how to even begin. But no matter what, it's a lot of training. Everything takes time. I think a lot of times people get frustrated they can't do something right off the bat, or even in a few years, but, like, everything's a skill, and sometimes it just takes a long time to learn something. Everybody has their strong suits, and everybody has their weak points. Like, when I was learning to knit, I struggled so much with it. It took me 3 years of trying to learn how to knit the most basic type of knit, because I just wanted to make a scarf. It took me 3 years, and I finally was able to complete my first scarf, and it still had a shit ton of flaws. It was still fucked up, and it wasn't that I just took a long breaks in between it. I just, for some reason, I could not wrap my head around how it moved. So it's like, a lot of people get impatient because they can't do something right away. They can't grasp it right away, but often it takes persistence, and it takes time, and it takes continuous effort, and it takes motivation. All right. It's time to get this hammer done. Hammer time. There you go. Nice. Now we just have to wait for this to cool. I will continuously the effort. And it's also important, too, to realize, like, for some people, meditation helps a lot. For some people, it doesn't do anything, right? Because it's like, what is your intentions with it? Meditation can make you feel better, but some people too, like, meditation can help you the same way that, like, practicing Tai Chi can, right? Where you just slow down the body. Also, I'm falling asleep. Please forgive me. No, no, no. There's nothing to forgive. It's late. I mean, last time I streamed, you were up way later than you should have been. I'd rather you sleep and feel better. And if you fall asleep to me yapping, that's cool too. I'm just happy to be playing Vintage Story. And of course I love chatting with you, but I'm not gonna cause a fuss about not being able to talk with somebody. Good game. I love this game. I love Vintage Story. So that's the thing is I really should be working on things, but I was like, I want to play Vintage Story. And then I did. Sometimes meditation or nutrients can't help you as much as playing a silly little block game can. Can't believe I forgot about the importance of making a hammer mold. I should go out and see if my plants need to be watered. I think I watered them yesterday. The thing is that I haven't been sleeping in this game because I've just been working on things. So it's hard to tell. But I'll go over this. You can't overwater plants. Growth stunted due to heat will only yield 50% of produce? Oh, it's summer. We're in a hotter region than I realized. All right. This is definitely a limited base. Oh, God damn it. If you could have any skill right now, what would it be? If I had like a cheat code to give me any skill? Good question. Maybe... It's interesting that some of these aren't stunted due to heat, but some of them are. Good question. I don't know. I'm somebody that I don't think I would want a skill instantly, I guess. Because that's the thing is, I think more valuable than the skill itself is the work and effort you put into it. It's one of the reasons why Dark Souls games are so fun is, I mean, beating the boss is great only after you spend like 50 million hours trying to defeat them. Not that it's always the case, but it is fun, you know, to actually struggle to achieve something. It makes it worth it. I honestly, I wish I could increase my skill in singing. I wish I could be better at that. Or audio mixing, probably. Because I used to have a lot more vocal training and abilities when I was younger, but that was before my pitch dropped in my throat. My vocal cords got lower and longer. And so now a lot of the training I have was made for somebody who doesn't have vocal cords like mine. And so they're completely useless to me. So all of the training that I had previously is not really easy to apply, and I have to constantly be relearning things. So it would be nice to get better vocal abilities. I think if I had to choose a specific niche of that, it'd probably be, I wish I could be better at singing rock. If I could have a skill of being able to sing rock. Or metal, that'd be cool. Alright, I need more firewood. My inventory's mostly full, though. I don't even know why I wandered out this way. Oh, there's resin here. Alright, I'll write this down. Resin is important when we start making windmills. Resin. Why is everything orange? Why is everything that I'm writing on the map orange? Interesting how that ended up working out. I have a single slate stone in my inventory. Alright. Oh, it's the 3-hour mark. I should probably end stream soon. Alright, I'll chop up this tree. I'll drink the rest of this tea that I have. And then probably end stream. I do have things I need to work on. So... Oh my god, I did not realize the several times I've been here that there's copper. There's a copper deposit right here. Oh my god. That's crazy. Everything is... I have never been this blessed in my life. Oh my god. Oh my gods. No, I don't know why recently I've gotten out of saying that as much. Sometimes I be pluralizing that, sometimes I am not. My door just broke and I was like, alright, where is it in my inventory? Could not pick it up. I don't know why I was so quiet for that bit. Probably because I'm getting sleepy and I'm sick. I'm tired of always being sick, but it's fine, it's whatever. Okay. We finally have done it. Alright, let's make our copper hammer. And then we can go in. Let's grab these. One of these has the copper chunks. We can bust out all the little copper. 92. Alright. I think we need 120 to make a... the anvil. So I might as well set that up right now. Alright, first things first. Let's drop this watering can. It's just taking up space. Place that here. Alright. 600 units of copper? 900. Damn. Close with no cigar. Luckily, there's more copper to be found, so... Put this here. Damn, I can't believe the heat is going to make it harder for my crops to grow. I tried to plant it as early as possible, but I guess it wasn't enough. Wonder if there's a way to lower temperature. There's gotta be, right? Got 23 firewood. Nice. Okay. Cool. Okay. I definitely want to expand this. The nice thing about living in stone is, one, it's better insulation, keeping things cold. And two, it's not going to catch fire and burn down. I wonder if lightning can burn down your house in this game. That'd be fucked up. But I wouldn't be against it. Yeah, because I could always set up the anvil over... I could set up the anvil... I want to have... I need to have my forging station inside, or at least covered, because we don't want it put out by the rain. if we do get rain. I don't think we have much rainfall in this area, though. Common? When? If when that raccoon got hit by lightning, there wasn't rain. It's amazing how different the vibes changed as soon as I opened this up more. That's crazy. Now, should I be wasting my beautiful copper pickaxe on this? Probably not. It's fine. I also need to set up a cellar to store food for longer. You need it mostly enclosed, and I don't think those gates are considered that. I know the crude door doesn't work. I think if you switch to just a full door, it keeps it more concealed, though. Almost there. I like looking at the stars in this game, but I love the stars. I really don't. I've never met somebody who's said that they dislike the stars, but I can't really imagine a person like that exists, if I'm being honest. Maybe I should make a distinct bedroom. I kind of would like to have like a cool little fireplace. Let me think. Doors right here. I could always mine this, put some rammed earth there. Turn this into a little fireplace. Or a little oven-like thing. Like the fireplace goes here and then it goes up. That could be cool. Maybe. Alright, let's put my hammer down. There's a few tools that I don't need and then I'll end stream. I've been quiet this stream, but I've been so sleepy and sick. Listen to how strong that wind is. Okay. Thank you everybody for coming today. Thank you to everybody who chatted, everybody who has just hung by, to the lurkers, and to the WOD watchers in the future. And I hope to see you again next time. I'm probably gonna go back to sleep. Well, actually, I'm probably gonna cook something. And then I'll make some more tea. And then I'll work on things. And then I'll go back to sleep. It's funny saying go back to sleep as if I haven't already been awake for several hours. But, alright. Thank you, everybody.